Hi there, one meteorologist Robert Spetta here with you on today, the 14th of October 2013. Two full-blown typhoons out here in the Western Pacific. We have Wipa racing off there towards the north, expected to impact Japan by Wednesday. But also, we are continuing to watch our, Typhoon Nari that impacted the Philippines there on Friday night and the Saturday. Now it is driving there towards the west and the eastern seaboard of Vietnam going through Tuesday early morning. You're going to be ready for a typhoon. The official track from the Vietnam Meteorological Agency here on Bao Nadi continues to track off there towards the west. Now, they do expect the landfall right around Da Nang. I knew yesterday we were saying it might be farther there towards the north near Hanoi, but it does look like a lot of the consensus has drifted it farther back down towards the south today. So, basically south of Hanoi around Da Nang and also over towards Hue, Vietnam. These are the areas where it's really most prone at this time for the worst of the weather. And if we just prog out, and progging means just watching where the center of circulation is going and just follow the general track over the past 24 hours and point it ahead. What we're seeing is it tracking kind of right into that direction, and that is right around Da Nang as well. Just moving south of the Paracel Islands, you saw some pretty gusty winds out here yesterday as well as that tracked out there towards just the south. But now, really, just the coastal Vietnam are prepared for this. I know on Tuesday, most of the schools have been closed out here. There has been some low-lying evacuations, preparing us out ahead of this storm system. The main threat from it's going to be the heavy rainfall, but right near the coastal areas, especially on the northern periphery of this, there is that risk of storm surge. As Nari comes ashore here on a Tuesday morning. Now, this is Da Nang right there. I remember yesterday I was saying Dung Noi, or Dung Hoi, excuse me, could be saying this storm system, but once again, it's tracking a little bit farther there towards the south. This is that area I was pointing right at there on the microwave imagery. So that right front quadrant pushing those winds ashore. Another aspect of the storm system is going to be these high winds, though. And this area in that inner eye wall, that's these areas in the purples. That's where you're seeing those typhoon strength winds. The good news, I don't see it extending out very far from there. We have tropical storm strength winds extending out. Those can be damaging, but that core of the destructive winds are right in that center of circulation. So as long as people are really preparing out ahead of this, and then we should see a limit to the loss of lives out here, and you can always rebuild, but as long as people move inland away from that. Now, farther inland, there still is the threats of this storm system. As we've been saying, actually, if you don't know, there's a mountain range here just along the western portions of Vietnam. It kind of separates Laos from Vietnam. And one of the problems with that, if we pull up the MSL, the rainfall plus the pressure gradient at the same time, is that we're going to start to see that moisture build up. And if we go ahead into the next 3 hours and just watch the storm system come ashore, we're going to start to see these areas build up in that mountain range. And what that means is these yellow and reds coming out over here is an intense, heavy amount of rainfall just towards the west of Hue and Danang, Vietnam. That water is going to flow downstream, so we're going to see some river flooding, but also that risk of valley flooding and the threat of landslides is up to about 50 to 100 millimeters could be occurring in some of these areas in just an hour span. And then the storm's still going to be tracking off here towards the west into Laos. You're going to start to see that heavy precipitation. But this is what I'm talking about right there. It weakens out and moves on shore, and we see that moisture hitting the mountains right in this area. And it's a slow-moving storm, so that also just exasperates that threat of rainfall. So something we're going to continue to watch. Vietnam, Laos, also northern portions of Cambodia. You're going to be seeing some pretty heavy precipitation. Eastern Thailand as well. The good news with the storm system, it hasn't wrapped up completely, so we're not seeing a full-fledged monster type of a typhoon with this. We do have a low-end typhoon, and it's nothing to take basically not seriously. This is still a very serious threat, but the main threat out of it is going to be the heavy rainfall through the coming days. And it does look like, at least according to local media, evacuations have already been issued in areas around Da Nang. And if they haven't, I would highly recommend, if you are watching this and you are right near the coastal areas, please do make those proper preparations. If you have any reports out of this area as well, any of your on-the-ground reports or photos or videos, please share them with us at Facebook and Twitter. And as always, if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, you can post them down in the comment box below. And stay safe out there, everybody. Thanks for watching.